her.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out.
But there was a minor problem with her story. The suspect has been a paraplegic in a wheelchair for 20 plus years.
How long have you been in your wheelchair?
Since I was 18.
Since you were 18?
5 years.
But the arresting officer just didn't care, and he attempted to arrest him anyways.
I literally can't. I don't have muscle control. I'm not. Oh my God! Oh my God!
When another officer stepped in and questioned what was happening,
If you're paralyzed, somebody must have made a mistake. Because if the door was kicked in, he didn't kick it in.
he went to his lieutenant.
Don't mean to interrupt your lunch. They got a quadriplegic guy up there in handcuffs.
Who couldn't be bothered to get up off of his chair, but quickly accused the 100% innocent man who was in fact a paraplegic of lying.
Yeah, but it's phony work. It's a ruse, man.
So-
I mean, it's an obvious attempt to not to go to jail. So
Yeah, but he is f***ed up from the waist below.
I've never seen a case where somebody was so clearly innocent and it would take so little work to establish it and nobody was willing to do the work.
Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel, where my mission is to help protect and defend your constitutional rights by showing you all of the outrageous things that your government regularly does to people just like you. So if you share in that mission too, please comment, like, and share this footage so that what you see in this video doesn't happen again to somebody else. In June of 2024, a woman named Catherine Jensen, who is apparently completely insane, called police and reported that this man, Charles Reed, whom she claimed was her ex-boyfriend and they had broken up a few days earlier,
Oh, thank God.
Hi, how you doing?
had come to her house, kicked down her door, choked her, and then attempted to steal her car keys.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out.
She also claimed that he fled on foot.
I guess he took off on foot.
In the body cam footage of that encounter, she apparently told the cops that she did not even want to press charges. Still, though, officers obtained an arrest warrant for Mr. Reed. This police officer named Mark Balot began to communicate with Mr. Reed by email. He basically tricked him into coming to the police station to clear up a case of mistaken identity. But what he really intended to do was to arrest Mr. Reed. When Mr. Reed arrived at the police station on March 20th of this year, Officer Mark Balot, the same police officer who responded to the call where Miss Jensen made that report about Mr. Reed, began to read Miranda rights and began questioning Mr. Reed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Reed. My name is Officer Ballard. You're the one I've been emailing recently.
Yeah, all right.
Doing well. Give me a second. I'm gonna just read you something and then I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, all right?
Great.
So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney.
He said, according to Miss Jensen, you forcefully entered her home and attacked her. Mr. Reed had no idea who she was or what he was talking about.
According to Ms. Jensen, on this date, you forcefully entered her home and attacked her.
As the conversation went on, Mr. Reed insisted that he had nothing to do with this and that he had actually been paralyzed for like 25 years.
How long have you been in your wheelchair?
Since I was 18.
Since you were 18?
5 years.
That he was married. He was not any sort of recent ex-boyfriend to this person.
So,
Yeah, that's.
and you say you have no recollection of who she is?
I have absolutely no idea who that is. Yeah. Certainly haven't forced my way into anybody's house.
Because she was able to provide us with your exact information and a description of how you look.
She describes that he's of average build,
Tall, short,
Average height.
that he has brown hair, that he's in black clothing,
so all black.
I want to say yes, sir.
but not that he's in a wheelchair. Never mentions it. And that is probably the number one thing you'd mention about somebody.
Especially as they're running away.
On foot.
I guess he took off on foot.
Charles and Catherine did date, but it was more than 20 years ago. They never kept in touch. He's been married for a decade with a newborn. And the day of the alleged attack, Charles says he was at a dinner party with friends.
Did police contact you at all?
No, not at all. Not a single time.
But instead of looking into the situation further or acting on that information, Officer Balot instead handcuffed and attempted to arrest Mr. Reed, which ended up with Mr. Reed falling out of his wheelchair and onto the ground.
I truly have no idea who that is. Like,
I understand you say you haven't been here, but unfortunately, you do have the warrant out for your arrest. So I'm gonna have to place you into custody, and I'm gonna take you downstairs. You're gonna be booked and entered, and you're gonna have to go to jail. So, and you say you've been in this wheelchair since you were 18. If you have proof of all of this information that can be verified, if you get those documents in order, you can bring those with you when you go to your first appearance.
can I pee and stuff? Like,
You'll be able to pee. I'm gonna take you right downstairs. You're not even going anywhere.
I am. This is crazy to me. Like,
Do me a favor, put your hands out. Unfortunately, it is. Put your hands out.
I can't. Is this a joke?
Do me a favor, lift your hands up above your head, please.
I don't have muscle control.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not like.
Put it on the other side.
I
on the
literally
other side.
can't. I don't have muscle control. I'm not. Oh my god! Oh my god!
33 to radio. Can I have a signal for to my location for a white male who fell out of a wheelchair?
Eventually, a second officer who happens to see what's going on comes over and he helps Mr. Reed back up into his wheelchair.
Can somebody please help me off the ground? I'm paralyzed. Can I get out of my wheelchair?
Yeah, let's help him out.
Oh, I was waiting for the paramedics to come. They're right next door, so.
Broke into your house. That's what I'm saying. But
Please don't let pelvis.
no, we're not.
I can't do anything here.
Okay, we helping. Hold on.
Unlike Mr. Balat, he immediately realizes that something is not right here and he begins to ask questions.
What's the warrant for?
Ag assault.
I broke into somebody's house.
From the trespass ag assault.
How long ago?
June 19th. June 19th, 15th, 9th, one of
How
those.
long you been paralyzed?
25 years.
Okay. Make a phone call to me.
What did I do?
Peggy's grab this arm.
What have I done?
It's just showing that you have a warrant, but we're gonna do our due diligence. Because if you're paralyzed, somebody must have made a mistake.
I thought I...
Okay. Hold on. Who was the original agency? We are. Who's the detective? You are. Okay. Give me a second.
I get my doctor on the phone.
He takes the first officer aside and tries to get an explanation out of him.
I'm gonna let you know right now. He just walked the hell out of that wheelchair. I held him with the tip of my fingers, and he fell down and fell on the floor. But basically, on what day was this? I still remember the call. On June 15th last year, I got a call about a lady from 4111 Fredericksburg Drive, and so basically, she was like, and when I got to the house, the front door was kicked in, and I think she was like hiding by the garage or something. And she comes out and she's bleeding from her arm. Her neck is bruised up and everything. She's like, my ex-boyfriend, who we broke up 2 days ago, just entered my home and attacked me. And then after that, I asked her, hey, you know, have y'all lived together? Yeah, we used to live together at this address. Do you have any of his information? Gave me his name, spelled it out, gave me a description, told me what he looked like, ran it through NCIC, it matched. And then I was like, is this him? She was like, yes, that's him. Gentleman right there, issued the warrant. So now he's saying, man, I ain't been here in like X amount of years.
Wife said he got shot at 19. He's been paralyzed since then. He's do some backdrop.
So I was like, man, I don't know if this is true or not, and I can't ascertain that right now.
So, might need to call the district attorney's office. Because if the door was kicked in, he didn't kick it in. He didn't kick it in.
Well, she didn't say kicked in. She said, well, I can't recall if it was kicked in or if that's what she said, because all I remember I wrote was that forced entry was made. So if it was kicked in, and he has indeed been paralyzed since he was 19 years old, that would be kind of hard.
I mean, because I'm looking at his legs. I got a couple of relatives that are quadriplegics. That what we see with his lower extremities ain't for play.
Okay.
That's legit. And if he was born in 82, that means he was shot in 2001. And he's been paralyzed since, 19 years. I would suggest calling the district attorney's office, let them know what you got. And even though
because now it's looking like she might have made a false report. So that's what I was looking like. I was like, I don't know, because between now and June, that's what, 9 months. I was like, I don't know if something happened between those 9 months that might have put him in a wheelchair.
let's walk back here.
He then walks with the first officer over to where their lazy lieutenant is sitting on his ass eating lunch on his messy, sloppy desk, and he tries to inform him of the situation. But the lieutenant already knows about the situation, and he doesn't care at all.
Don't mean to interrupt your lunch. I'm stepping in, helping out a little bit. They got a quadriplegic guy up there.
I just told him about that.
Oh, he already got the rundown?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's phony wash.
Yeah, but how could he?
And I just want to put it out there. He flopped out the wheelchair. I was like, can you raise your hands? Because I'm trying to, pat him down, make sure he doesn't have anything. I don't know if the camera's going to catch it, but I got him by the tip of my fingers. And he just...
It's a ruse, man.
So-
it's an obvious attempt to not to go to jail, so.
Yeah. But he is fucked up from the waist below.
That is pretty... After actually seeing him, I agree. But then again, like I said, I don't know what happened between 9 months ago from now, and I don't know how much muscle mass you lose from not using your legs. So I don't know if,
That's for the court to decide.
Yeah. Wife said he's been paralyzed for 19 years, so.
Well,
Okay.
well, just get ready to clear him.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all you need.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So y'all better get the lawyers on standby, because I know damn well he's going to make a whole issue out of this.
I don't know, I'm a paraplegic, so it's like I can't really tell like what's happened to me.
I got you.
You know?
Right.
So, if you need his information. So I just spoke to LT and Major. Unfortunately, I still have to take him because it's a felony warrant. Now, I don't know what's happening between you and this young lady, whatever you guys had. That's not...
Yeah, I understand that.
So if she made a false report, that's going to be on her, obviously. Like I said, I explained, I noticed your condition, I see it, but I have to do my due diligence. It's a warrant out, I have to go ahead and take you in. So now that's going to be up to you and the courts and your lawyers and her and
To
that,
do what? Like,
to establish your innocence until proven guilty. So at this point, she says you kicked down her door. It don't look like you could kick anything, no offense, at this point in time. So that's why I told you earlier, if you have documentation that you were shot at 19, that you've been to Grady, that you...
I do. I can provide it in 10 minutes from now.
So, give me
I
one
mean, I can
second.
just call my doctor, right? I mean, like,
I need paper.
I
If it
can
ain't
go
on paper,
get
it
it
don't
from
happen.
them. I mean, you can call the DMV and see that I've needed mechanical aids on my license for the past 25 years. You can call, we can drive to Grady right now.
Give me 1 second. Let me, actually, give me 1
I
second.
can show you my handicap
Hold on,
placard that I got 15 years ago.
Give me 1 second. Let me go talk to my manager real quick. I'm so sorry, last thing. He's saying that he can prove with paper documentation that he's been in a wheelchair for that long.
Okay, but you can still punch somebody in the wheelchair, right? I mean, that doesn't mean that he didn't do what he was accused of, right?
So,
I mean, he could have forced entry if he had a tool, or who knows? I mean, I don't think just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you
can't break a door down.
Right.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take you today, sir.
Can I talk to whoever that guy was?
It's really nothing he can do, and he's the one that's telling me, because you still have an active warrant, and that warrant isn't going anywhere. I've even went so far as to reach out to the district attorney and see if there's something that I could do, but they're not answering. So unfortunately, I had to take you in.
Told me that I could provide documentation.
That's not a right here, right now matter. That's going to be a later on matter.
Can I talk to the
And
judge?
even so,
Can the judge,
and even
can
so,
can somebody like a judge
I'm
see
trying to tell
me?
you, and even so, you're in a wheelchair that doesn't.
I want to talk to like a judge or something. Could I get like speak to like a magistrate or something? Like I want to get this resolved because somebody that can think critically.
I'm not
can look at it.
understanding because you're saying that you had no muscle control, but yet you wheeled yourself from across the street and somehow got into.
I don't have muscle control after the thoracic 3 vertebrae, right? So I have hand control. I have hands. I have a
You're doing
license.
exactly what I just asked you to do before when you fell on the floor.
Yeah, because I'm balanced, right? When I have 2 hands here together, I always have to hold myself.
So that's one, and two.
What do you mean that's one?
And two, you're saying you can't sit down, but you have to sit in the
Because I'm on a
car.
specialized cushion. Do you see this cushion that I'm on right here? It's a specialized air cushion with like specialized compartments. I will get a bed sore if I sit on anything other than this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't a bed sore when you sit or lay somewhere for like a very extended period of time?
It is.
It's not going to be an
So that'll be
extended
the
period of
start
time.
of that.
I'm pretty sure the jail has things that can accommodate you and you will go with your chair. I'm not saying that I'm going to take you, your chair's going to stay here, your cushion's going to stay here, and you're just going to be asked out in the back seat of a car and then in a hospital and then whatever the case may be.
You're not explaining that to me as you're saying those statements though, right? So I'm justified in not knowing that information.
Oh, my apologies. I thought that was kind of implied that where you go, your chair would go with you.
That's not implied to me at all. I haven't been in a police department my entire life. I can know any single thing about this life, right?
My apologies. I'm letting you know right now, your chair will go with you.
Yeah, I'd still love to speak with somebody like of higher tier. Like I simply cannot accept that like this is the remuneration for this after I've been in contact with you for like a month and a half.
You've been in contact with me for like a couple weeks.
Months are made of weeks, I guess, you know.
Mr. Reed is not a criminal. He's never been in this situation before. He just can't believe that law enforcement, the criminal justice system, could be this wrong, could be this incompetent. But boy, was he wrong. He wanted to speak to a judge. They don't give him access to a judge, but they give him a supervisor. So here comes the supervisor. And as you can see, he's a lot of help.
That's my sergeant. He'll be able to speak with you.
Can you call dispatch and figure out what's going on with our radio?
Long story short, he has a warrant for ag assault out of here, 411 Fredericksburg Drive, and he needs to be transported. And he's saying that he has obviously a medical condition and that he can't be transported.
I'm really saying that I'd like to speak to a judge or somebody who can adjudicate some aspect of this other than simply taking me to the hospital. Like this is. Like this is.
You better answer the phone.
Give me a second, excuse me. Put down, not disturb.
So really, I would just love some information.
Like to a judge right now. You know when you go to court.
I don't know anything about this, honestly. Like this is a complete total surprise to me. I literally have been in communication with this gentleman for a month trying to figure out why in the world I have a warrant. I feel like I was tricked into coming here today.
Tricked into coming.
Yeah, because he told me I could just come and sign some piece of paper because he didn't have any knowledge about what the warrant was. I have the email that I could show you.
Did you recently get put in a wheelchair or what?
25 years ago.
25 years ago.
When I was shot when I was 18.
Okay, all right. Have we looked up this case number?
You said I kicked in a door?
I didn't say kicked in, I said forced entry was made.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out.
So you said in the email you said you never talked to me or you don't remember anything about me, and that I could come down to sign a piece of paper to handle it all.
Then finally, this lady shows up. I'm guessing she's some sort of a transport officer. Best I can tell, she arranges for him to come back in and turn himself back in, buying him a little more time, perhaps to go hire his lawyer or whatever he ended up doing, to avoid actually going to jail.
He came in to settle the matter with the whole warrant. All right. So No, that's why.
So you came to turn yourself in?
He came to talk to me about the warrant. So I asked him some questions.
Well, he said he had no recollection of me or anything, and that I could come in to clear it up, that I could sign a sheet of paper to clear it up. And so I just simply came in because, of course, it's mistaken identity, and so now I've been thrown on the ground.
Thankfully, he ended up not actually being arrested on that warrant. The warrant was eventually dismissed, but only after the story literally ran in the Atlanta TV news market. The crazy lady eventually publicly admits that she's absolutely nuts and she had no contact with this guy. And it's also revealed that the cops, had they even checked this woman's arrest record, should have known that anyways, because she had already been arrested for similar allegations before this event even occurred. So this is a story of this one particular officer, Balat, being amazingly incompetent. But worse than that, once he realizes that he has charged a clearly innocent person, he doubles down to cover his own ass. And who helped him do that? His lieutenant helped him do that. His supervisor, his direct supervisor, his sergeant, just could have cared less either way. Fortunately, that one officer who was just a bystander stepped in and tried to do the right thing, but his lieutenant did not help him. Ultimately, is there going to be a lawsuit here? I don't know. As I've explained in other videos, these sorts of cases are very difficult where you have a valid warrant that was signed by a judge. You can sue under circumstances where police officers provide incorrect, false information to a judge to be able to get that warrant. But at the same time, unlike the private market where you can sue an employer for negligence, government doesn't work that way. They're allowed to be negligent, they're allowed to be incompetent, and we can't sue them for that. Only when it rises to really, really egregious levels can anything be done about it. This probably is a closed case here. We can see that they did have actual knowledge at a certain point and basically arrested the guy anyways. Now, ultimately, he wasn't taken to jail, but handcuffs were put on him. He was taken to the ground. But more importantly, people just need to see this. So please share this footage. These same incompetent police officers, well, worse than incompetent, these same police officers who knowingly violate an innocent person's civil rights because they want to cover their own ass, or even in the case of the lieutenant, too lazy to even get up from his desk, to stop eating his pretzels and get up from his desk and see what the hell's going on. This sort of thing needs to be shared, and they need to be exposed. Again, the only thing that government fears is negative public exposure. Government itself is the bad apple. Remember that. So help me spread that fact by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where you...
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers preliminary alcohol screening, field sobriety tests, and driving while intoxicated, and is brought to us by the City of Newton. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Shortly after midnight on August 28, 2022, Officer Nathan Winters and Lieutenant Christopher Wing of the Newton Police Department pulled over 19-year-old college football player Taven Galanakis in Newton, Iowa for driving with his high beam headlights on. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Winters' body camera.
Hi there. How you doing, sir? Good, how are you? Good. My name's Officer Winters with the Newton Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is because you have your bright lights on.
Yeah, I have a headlight out, so I just keep my brights on.
Okay, well that's not legal.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Yeah, I turn when a car comes by, I turn them off, but like...
Well, you didn't with me.
You were a while back.
It has to be within 500 feet.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
And you're not supposed to have your brights on in the city limits.
My fault.
You got your license, registration, insurance with you?
Yeah, I got you.
Is this your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you headed?
Back home. Hold on 1 second.
Where are you coming from?
Friend's house.
Okay. Anything to drink over there?
Nope. Need one of these right here?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good start. That's the registration. Okay. I'll take this first one here.
Alright.
You got your insurance?
Yeah, I got you. Would it be that white card?
Could be. That's one that expired in 21.
I got the email version.
Alright, that'll work. I'm gonna have you hop out with me, okay?
Cool.
We're gonna go back here, okay?
Cool.
You don't have anything on you? No bombs, guns, drugs?
No bombs or no drugs.
Okay, let's go back here. I'm gonna have you have a seat in my passenger seat, okay?
Awesome.
Where are you coming from?
Back by His name is Creighton. It's a friend's house.
Okay. What are you doing at Creighton's house?
We were just hanging out. Just got back from college.
Okay.
Go to William Penn.
Okay. Play football up there?
Yes, sir.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
None.
What do you mean none?
I had nothing to drink.
Okay. Why would your eyes be watery and bloodshot?
You want to blow me real quick?
I don't want to blow you.
Pause. I got contacts. I've had nothing to drink.
Okay. So your movements in the car with you fumbling over the registration kind of say otherwise. And so does the odor of alcohol coming from your person.
Great, let's do a test and
We'll get to the test.
I can't wait. Can I record it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Officer Winters thinks I'm drinking tonight. We're about to do a test and he's going to find out I had nothing to drink. He's going to look stupid.
Alright, so let's go up on the sidewalk here and I'll talk with you up there, okay?
Cool.
Mr. Galanakis asks to take a breathalyzer test, but Officer Winters asks him to step outside the vehicle to complete field sobriety testing first. In general, there are two types of breathalyzers that police officers use to test potentially intoxicated drivers. These include roadside preliminary breath tests, or PBTs, using preliminary alcohol screening, or PASS devices, and the chemical breath tests administered using larger and more accurate breathalyzer machines at police stations, often after a DUI arrest is made. According to Section 321J.5 of the Iowa Code, when a peace officer has reasonable grounds to believe that a motor vehicle operator has operated a motor vehicle while intoxicated, the officer may request that the operator provide a sample of the operator's breath for a preliminary screening test. However, under Iowa law, drivers are not required to submit to PBTs, and an individual may refuse to blow, even if the officer has reasonable grounds to believe that they are driving under the influence. In contrast, Section 321J.6 of the Iowa Code, which is known as the state's implied consent law, states that a person who operates a motor vehicle under circumstances which give reasonable grounds to believe that the person has been operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, quote, is deemed to have given consent to the withdrawal of specimens of the person's blood, breath, or urine, and to a chemical test or tests of the specimens for the purpose of determining the alcohol concentration or presence of a controlled substance or other drugs in certain situations. And under Section 321J.9 of the Iowa Code, drivers who refuse chemical testing when the implied consent statute applies can have their driver's licenses revoked for a year or more. An individual is considered to have consented to chemical testing for the purposes of this statute if they have been lawfully arrested for DUI, refused to take a PBT, failed a PBT, or if, quote, the preliminary breath screening test was administered and it indicated an alcohol concentration less than the level prohibited, and the peace officer has reasonable grounds to believe that the person was under the influence of a controlled substance, a drug other than alcohol, or a combination of alcohol and another drug. We will discuss whether Officer Winters had reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Galanakis was driving under the influence later in this episode, but for now, it should be noted that although it may seem like Officer Winters unnecessarily delayed the traffic stop by refusing to administer a breathalyzer when Mr. Galanakis requested one, it is likely that he did so in order to ensure that the testing produced accurate results. While police station breathalyzers typically have safeguards to prevent false positives, interference from residual mouth alcohol and other breath contaminants can artificially inflate a roadside PBT reading, resulting in a test result that is higher than the driver's actual blood alcohol concentration. For this reason, officers are trained to observe drivers for 15 to 20 minutes before using a PASS device to confirm that they do not consume any alcohol or other products that contain alcohol, such as cough syrup, mouthwash, or breath spray, and ensure that the PBT results are not contaminated. This 15-minute rule is likely the reason that Officer Winters did not immediately give Mr. Galanakis a PBT when he asked to take one, and instead requested that he perform field sobriety tests.
You have contacts in, you said?
Not right now.
Did you take them out?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm allergic to dogs. My eyes get dried up and watery, so I took them out.
Are you supposed to have them in when you drive?
No.
Okay. I'm going to have you stand with your heels and toes together, with your arms down to your side. I'm going to check your eyes.
Cool.
Okay, what I want you to do is follow my finger with your eyes and your eyes only, and do not move your head, okay? Can you see my finger clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How many more we got?
This test is about 2 minutes long. Are you comfortable in walking in the shoes you got on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I want you to put your left foot on the line. Take your right foot, put it in front of your left foot with the heel of your right foot touching the toe of your left foot, just like this, okay? So from this position, you're gonna take 9 heel-to-toe steps, turn and take 9 heel-to-toe steps back.
You turn back around?
2, 3, just like I did. Count your steps out loud, and once you've started walking, do not stop until you've completed the test, okay? You may begin.
Gotcha. Let's do the breath now. 2 for 2.
Well, sir, I don't believe you are 2 for 2. How many steps did I say to take?
Like 8 or 9?
I said 9. Why'd you take 14 and then 15?
I thought you were going to tell me when to turn.
I said to count your steps out loud.
Oh, my fault.
So the next test, when I say begin, I want you to...
How many false accusations you got?
0.
It's about to be your first.
What I want you to do when I say begin is raise either your left or your right foot, whichever one you want, and raise it approximately 6 inches off the ground and keep it parallel to the ground, okay? Why are you shaking so much?
It's freezing, man. Look at you, you got all these clothes on, and I got shorts on and it's raining. And you false accusing me, so of course I'm going to be a little nervous.
I wear shorts when it's 30 below.
Congratulations.
If you don't have any questions, you may begin.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, you can relax. I got one more test for you.
Give me a little blow.
I will.
Little zeros.
I will here in a minute. A couple more tests here.
Let's blow real quick. Stop doing all these damn tests. Let's blow. Let's get to business.
Has it been 15 minutes
I
yet?
used to love new cops. I used to love them. Never give me no problems. Till now. My beams were on because I have a taillight out. Not my taillight. One of the bulbs up front is out. That's why I pulled them up.
Okay.
I didn't know it was illegal.
Let's go to the front of the car here.
Officer Winters leads Mr. Galanakis through a series of field sobriety tests, some of which have been validated by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, and some which have not. As the Court of Appeals of Iowa explained in the 2002 case of State v. Marks, quote, when an officer has reasonable cause to believe a driver is operating while intoxicated, a suspect may be briefly detained, asked to perform field sobriety tests, and comply with other investigatory requests without violating the suspect's Fourth Amendment rights. However, it is important to note that, as with preliminary breath tests, Iowa drivers are not required to submit to field sobriety testing, and an individual may refuse to participate. When administering the tests on Mr. Galanakis, Officer Winters began by performing the so-called horizontal gaze nystagmus, or HGN test, which is one of the 3 standardized field sobriety tests developed by the NHTSA. During an HGN test, the officer requests the subject to follow the motion of a small stimulus, such as the tip of a pen or pen light, using only their eyes, and observes their eyes for signs of an involuntary jerking known as nystagmus, which becomes more prominent as an individual's BAC increases. After the HGN test, Officer Winters had Mr. Galanakis perform the 2 other standardized field sobriety tests, the walk and turn test and the one-leg stand test. These 2 tests are known as divided attention tests because they require the subject to concentrate on mental tasks and physical tasks at the same time. The walk and turn test requires the subject to walk heel to toe for 9 steps, turn around, and take 9 heel to toe steps back to their starting location while counting their steps out loud and looking at their feet. According to the NHTSA, officers should look for 8 clues when conducting this assessment, and note if the subject cannot keep balance while listening to the instructions, starts too soon, stops while walking, does not touch heel to toe, steps off the line, uses arms to balance, makes an improper turn, or takes an incorrect number of steps. On the other hand, the one-leg stand test requires the subject to stand on one leg for 30 seconds while counting out loud. The NHTSA instructs officers to look for 4 clues during this test: swaying while balancing, using arms to balance, hopping, and putting the foot down. After completing the standardized field sobriety tests, Officer Winters had Mr. Galanakis perform 2 additional field sobriety tests before completing his assessment. Now, although Mr. Galanakis took too many steps during the walk and turn test and failed to count his steps out loud, NHTSA guidelines state that an individual should be classified as over the legal limit if they fail 2 or more clues for this test, and failing to count out loud is not an identified clue. Likewise, while he did not count out loud during the one-leg stand test, failure to count out loud is not a clue for that assessment either.
Let's do this low. 0-0. Ready for it?
All right, what I want you to do is make a tight seal around this and blow outwards like you're blowing up a balloon, okay?
Cool.
All right.
You ready?
Yep. Okay, you can relax. So I'm going to read you Miranda, okay? Right now you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, will be appointed to you before any question, okay?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time we smoked weed?
I do not remember that.
Tonight?
Oh.
Okay, well I think
tonight,
it's tonight.
I blew zeros, so now you're trying to think I smoke weed. Is he allowed to do that?
Yes, he is.
So I blow zeros and you suspect drugs now. I blow zeros, so you think I'm on drugs. That's ridiculous. I'm being honest.
You smoked some weed at your friend's house?
No.
You hit a pin?
Nope.
Why is your field sobriety so poor? And why are you so lethargic and slow moving and speaking with a slurred speech? And your eyes are watery and your eyes are bloodshot.
You know why they're watery? Probably because we're in rain right now. I play college football, I told you that. We get tested every Friday.
I think you're under the influence.
You think I'm impaired?
Yes.
Well, I'm not.
Do you want to do a drug recognition evaluation or a drug influence evaluation?
What's that?
There's an officer who checks your blood pressure, does a whole bunch of tests.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Here's my situation. I stopped this guy for having his brights on. He fumbles around with his registration 3, 4, 5 times. He bombed sobriety. I asked him, I said, I read him Miranda, PBT 000. I said, when's the last time we smoked weed? And he hesitated for a long period of time and said, I honestly can't remember. He says he'll do an evaluation, but he's kind of a smart. Alright, that's what we'll do then. Okay, but I obviously have enough to charge him with the sobriety, so. I spoke with the drug recognition expert, and he said that he's willing to do a drug influence evaluation on you. We would have to go up to the PD.
Right now?
Yep.
I don't want to do that right now.
You don't want to do it right now? Why not?
Because you had me out in this damn rain.
We would go to the PD where it's
Well, I
dry.
don't want to do that. I don't want to do that now. I want to go home. You wasted my time.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Right now you're being placed under arrest for operating while intoxicated, okay?
Sir, I'm not intoxicated. I blew zeros.
You can be under the influence of a narcotic. Nothing else on you?
It's my inhaler, man.
I see
not
that.
drugs.
Okay. Let's go back here.
You wait till my mom comes, though?
Nope. You're over 18.
Officer Winters places Mr. Galanakis under arrest for operating a vehicle while intoxicated, and when Mr. Galanakis reminds him that he blew a 0.0 on the breathalyzer, Officer Winters argues that he could be under the influence of a narcotic. According to Section 321J.2 of the Iowa Code, an individual commits the offense of operating while intoxicated if the person operates a motor vehicle while under the influence of an alcoholic beverage or other drug or a combination of such substance, while having an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more, or while any amount of a controlled substance is present in the person as measured in the person's blood or urine. Therefore, a driver can be arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs even if their blood alcohol concentration is less than 0.08. In the 2004 case of State versus Truesdell, the Supreme Court of Iowa explained that for the purposes of this statute, quote, a person is under the influence when the consumption of alcohol affects the person's reasoning or mental ability, impairs a person's judgment, visibly excites a person's emotions, or causes a person to lose control of bodily actions. Throughout the encounter, Officer Winters cited several factors to support his suspicion that Mr. Galanakis was under the influence, including allegations that he fumbled with paperwork when he was first pulled over, smelled like alcohol, slurred his speech, had bloodshot eyes, and performed poorly during field sobriety testing. Although these factors could certainly support a finding of probable cause for an arrest, in this instance, it is likely that a judge's decision would turn on their assessment of Officer Winters' credibility and whether or not they believed his allegations about Mr. Galanakis' appearance and behavior. Notably, the fact that Officer Winters originally claimed to smell an odor of alcohol emanating from Mr. Galanakis' person is strongly undermined by the fact that he later blew a 0.0. And although it is possible that Officer Winters could have smelled alcohol that came into contact with his clothing at his friend's house, in my opinion, this allegation significantly undermines Officer Winters' credibility. Additionally, the body camera footage does not appear to show Mr. Galanakis slurring his speech, having bloodshot eyes, or demonstrating any physical impairment when searching for his registration and insurance documents. And while Officer Winters may have been able to see things better in person, the body camera footage at the very least calls his characterizations into question.
So you don't want to do the drug recognition evaluation?
We can do it.
So when we used weed last?
It's honestly been so long I can't remember. I've done it before, but it's been a really long time.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the field?
Because I stopped doing that. It does nothing good for me.
Then why is your field sobriety so bad?
It wasn't even bad. I was doing good.
All right, I'm going to read the implied consent advisory to you. Just follow along with me as I read it to you out loud.
After the arrest, the officers transported Mr. Galanakis to the Newton police station, where he was held in a detention room. On Officer Winter's request, Mr. Galanakis agreed to submit to a drug recognition test and a urine test, and Officer Schinkel, a drug recognition expert with the Newton Police Department, conducted a second round of field sobriety tests and several physical tests, including a blood pressure test. Based on the results of these tests, Officer Schinkel concluded shortly after 2 a.m. that Mr. Galanakis was not intoxicated, and that he was not showing any signs of drug or alcohol use, and Mr. Galanakis was released without any charges being filed. After the encounter, Mr. Galanakis repeatedly posted about his experience on social media, and later shared an edited compilation of the body camera footage. Newton Mayor Mike Hansen issued a statement explaining that he, the city administrator, the police chief, command staff, and city attorney reviewed the incident and determined that the stop, quote, was handled according to police departmental policy and according to the law. Instead, the mayor's statement placed the blame on Mr. Galanakis for failing to operate his vehicle in accordance with the law and for failing to listen to the officer's requests. On January 5th, 2023, Mr. Galanakis filed a lawsuit against the city and the officers involved, alleging false arrest, civil rights violations, and negligent supervision and training. The lawsuit was removed to federal court on February 2nd, and on February 9th, Officer Winters and Lieutenant Wing filed counterclaims against Mr. Galanakis for making and publishing written and oral defamatory statements, making false complaints, and intentionally inflicting emotional distress. Mr. Galanakis has filed a motion to dismiss the counterclaims, and as of the date of writing this episode, both the counterclaims and the underlying lawsuit are still pending. Overall, Officer Winters and Lieutenant Wing get an F. Because although they mostly maintained a professional demeanor throughout the encounter and demonstrated a reasonable understanding of DUI testing procedures, they ultimately arrested a driver who was not impaired based on dubious evidence after he blew a 0.0. Although I cannot know for certain what was going on in Officer Winters' head during this encounter, it seems apparent that Officer Winters decided very early in the interaction that he believed Mr. Galanakis was intoxicated, and then attempted to bend the facts to bolster his suspicion. For instance, Officer Winters characterized Mr. Galanakis' difficulty in finding his registration documents as fumbling, and what appeared to be his normal speech patterns as slurring. His desire to demonstrate that Mr. Galanakis was intoxicated even caused him to quickly pivot his allegations to drug impairment after Mr. Galanakis blew a 0.0, despite the fact that he earlier claimed to smell alcohol on Mr. Galanakis. Likewise, although I'm not an expert at field sobriety testing, Mr. Galanakis' failure to follow instructions seemed more indicative of him misunderstanding what he was supposed to do rather than being too impaired to properly perform the tests, and he did not appear to struggle with the physical aspects of the testing. While it is possible that Officer Winters was malicious in his behavior, it seems more likely that Officer Winters was not aware that he was misconstruing evidence based on his belief that Mr. Galanakis was intoxicated and considered himself to be acting to protect the community from an intoxicated driver. This encounter demonstrates the importance of officers conducting neutral and unbiased investigations that make conclusions based on the facts uncovered, rather than trying to make the facts fit a predetermined judgment. Mr. Galanakis gets a B for maintaining a calm demeanor throughout the encounter, sharing his experience with the public after his arrest, and taking swift and appropriate legal action against the officers involved. While he did insult and antagonize the officers at several points, he mostly remained respectful and always stayed within his First Amendment rights to express dissent to the officers' actions. That being said, Mr. Galanakis' interests would likely have been better served by refusing to submit to field sobriety testing or a PBT, as is his legal right to do so. While I understand Mr. Galanakis' instinct to want to prove his innocence, the more information an individual provides, the more likely they are to incriminate themselves in the eyes of an investigating officer, particularly through highly subjective assessments such as field sobriety tests. Although it is still possible that Officer Winters would have arrested him for DUI, Mr. Galanakis would have had a much stronger argument that the arrest was not supported by probable cause if he had refused to participate in testing. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.
Body camera footage shows a mother's outrage as her son is arrested for a crime he did not commit. Tonight, 2 THP troopers are being sued in federal court.
They arrested a Tennessee man for DUI who was sober the entire time. It's the latest development in Jeremy Finley's sobering problem investigations, where he's finding sober Tennesseans arrested for DUI.
I need to get back in your vehicle for me. Okay, I will.
Ask yourself this about your mom.
What's the problem?
If you'd been arrested on the interstate and your mother happened to drive by and see you,
Why has my son been arrested? For driving under the influence, ma'am. He has not been drinking, sir.
what would your mom say? Well, in the case of Thomas Manis, who'd just been arrested for DUI while claiming he was sober,
Got anything to drink today?
his mom had plenty to say.
I'm just saying, if you have falsely arrested him, you're going to be in trouble.
Okay, ma'am.
I promise you, because I know my son.
And it turns out Mother does know best. Manis was arrested and charged with DUI, but his blood work shows he was completely sober. No alcohol, no drugs. And now he's suing both the state troopers who arrested him, citing unlawful seizure and false arrest. And it's what's once again captured on police body camera before the field sobriety test is even given that raises more questions about why police are arresting innocent people, charging them with a crime they didn't commit. Real quick, you may remember, as part of our sobering problem investigations, we showed you what a Rutherford County deputy said about a pool player he just pulled over for a DUI. Take a listen.
Never known a sober person to shoot much pool. Oh, I know.
He arrested that driver, who ended up being sober too. Now, watch what is said about Thomas Manis last December. He was pulled over, not for swerving or speeding, but for having too dark of tinted windows in Monroe County in East Tennessee. Before the field sobriety test even begins, Trooper Billy Yates Matoy says he knows a relative of Manis's and has a suspicion about Manis.
Probably got weed, probably high.
Yeah.
I guarantee you smoked weed today. When's the last time you smoked marijuana?
Not anytime soon. I'd say probably about 4 years ago.
So if I done a blood test on you right now,
Nothing's come back in your system. It'd come back clear. It'd come back clear.
According to Manis's lawsuit, he successfully performed each field sobriety test, but still was charged.
Am I in custody?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Arrested?
Yes, sir.
For
Arrested for driving under the influence.
oh my gosh. Is there any way I can do a breathalyzer and just...
We don't do breathalyzers, sir.
You can imagine what his mom had to say about that.
Did you give him a breathalyzer? Man, we don't do breathalyzers. Did you give him a... Then this is not right. Ma'am? How can you do this?
And sometimes it's not what you hear or see that says a lot. Because after the field sobriety test, Trooper Schreiner goes behind the car to talk to Trooper Yates Matoy and turns his body cam audio off. For 30 seconds, what they talk about, we don't know. And when the tow truck driver arrives to pick up Manis's vehicle, the driver asks Schreiner this question. And the audio is once again turned off.
Wow, so Jeremy, can state troopers do that? Just turn off their audio?
Well, Marius, we asked the Tennessee Highway Patrol that. A spokesman said they can't comment because of the pending litigation. So I asked for their policy on turning off audio and why they don't use breathalyzers anymore. And we are waiting to get that. Once we get it, we'll let you know. You might have noticed in that story that we didn't speak to Manis.